Hello, and welcome back to the Pueblo County Sports Experience podcast. Today we're doing some player interviews here. We have the cheer team with us. We have Taylor Lytle, Macey Martinez, and Delaney Pighetti. To start this off, I have some stickers for you guys. You guys can just each take one. And while you guys are passing those out, how's your day going so far?
Pretty good, I feel like. It's been a pretty good day.
Yep, just staying busy, doing a lot of stuff in and out of school.
Yeah, trying to stay warm.
Yeah, it's been pretty cold out. It's not been fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you guys got back from nationals, 2 weeks now? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I would say about like a week and a half.
How do you feel like it went? Like, what was your experience at nationals?
Honestly, I feel like we really came together as a team while we were there. We bonded a lot and we just had a really great experience, in and out of the hotel doing practices, just on the blacktop. It was a really fun time.
Yeah, it's been hard because we've been having we always have a break between before nationals, after state. But like Taylor said, at nationals, we all just really came together as a team and bonded more over and got to know each other even better.
I didn't go to nationals.
Okay.
So.
Do you feel like the experience went different this year than it went last year, or was there any major differences you noticed?
Well, to start, we were a commuter team this year, so we weren't on Disney property. And so that was a little bit different because our schedule changed when we had to practice, but we also got practice time. Last year we didn't have any practice time. We just went for it.
Yeah, like she said, it kind of just, the vibe was a little bit different because we weren't as involved with Disney, I feel like, but we still had time to bond as a team in our rooms because we didn't have the fun Disney hotel and whatever. So we kind of just made our own fun with what we had.
I feel like from an outside point of view, I saw you guys practicing a lot more. We have never been able to practice so much, and I feel like that really helped you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did. It helped us keep our mindset good and keep everything fresh for our competition and just keeping us all motivated while we were there.
Yeah, I saw the video of you guys practicing in the parking lot outside the hotel.
Yeah. Well, inside the practice space, we didn't have room to do the stunts or fly our flags. So we had to go outside in order to do all that.
Yeah, it was kind of sketchy, I'm not gonna lie. We were in a sketchy little part of Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of sketch around that area. I was there a few years ago and we stayed right outside. It's a little sketch there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel your other competitions this year went, overall?
You know what? This year we kind of had as our coach says, it's a growth era. We obviously were missing some of our big attributes to the team, so it was just kind of a learning experience for everyone. And we still did good at comps, but mainly just improving for our big competitions. I feel just preparing us.
Right. I feel like we didn't do as well as we would have liked to, but we learned other things while we were there. If we didn't win the competition, we took something else from it.
Yeah, we're that kind of team that even though we might not do that good on some things, we always, like she said, learn something from it. And kind of cheer's all about growing a relationship with these girls too, not just we're here to do our sport. We're here to get to know each other because we're with each other all year round. So we need to be a close knit team kind of.
Yeah, that's a good mentality to have. Is there anything else you guys do to bond as a team, or you just spend almost every day together?
Yeah, I just feel like we're together every day. We do bond outside of practice sometimes. We had a Christmas party at our coach's house, which was a lot of fun, and we went to breakfast one day after a cheer practice, and so it's nice to get to know the girls outside of cheer. But yeah, we're just together all the time, so you either have to be friends or you gotta go.
Yeah, pretty much there's no other option.
Yeah,
just be friends.
I feel like our coach takes bonding for our team really seriously than other coaches do, and I think that's helped our team become have a good relationship with each other. Cheer is such a different sport, and it's mainly a team sport. You can't do it with anyone else, so you have to trust your teammates and stuff. And I think the bonding that we do and we prioritize helps so much.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it's good that your coach is so adamant about getting or having you guys bond together. This is more of like an individual question, but how did you guys get like inspired to do cheer or what made you want to do cheer?
Personally, for me, I was going to try it with a friend just like to have the fun of it. And I never really expected to make the team my freshman year. It was just kind of like on a whim. But yeah, I guess that's really, I just wanted to do it for fun. But now I really love it.
Yeah, I've been doing cheer since I was 4. And so I used to do All-Star. Me and Delaney used to do it together. And I've just always done cheer growing up. So, and I've known the coaches since I was like itty bitty and kind of was just like the next thing for me to do.
Yeah, same with Mace. Like, obviously, like, we knew coming up freshman year, like, it was gonna be, we were gonna try out for the cheer team because we've been cheering since we were little. Like, it was our favorite sport. And, like, obviously, school cheer is a little different than all-star cheer, but it still is, like, the main thing is cheer. And, like, that's what we love to do. So, obviously, we tried out our freshman year as well.
What's the biggest difference between like all-star cheer and high school cheer?
I think the biggest difference that I would say is all-star cheer is literally just performing. You do not cheer anyone on. Like you don't cheer for a team. It's just you. Like it's just your team and you work on this one routine throughout the whole season and you go to a bunch of different competitions like we do for cheer, but that's the only thing you focus on and you don't focus on like helping other teams.
Yeah, like all-star cheer can look way harder than school cheer, but there's also like the division we do is called game day, which is just pretty much you have to be like perfect in everything. And like everyone's seen our routines, they're obviously a little bit different, but it is the same. Like she said, just it's cheer, but I feel like with school cheer, there's much more like you have to be way more tighter, cleaner, and everything. The judges look at things that like they want everyone to look the same, I should say. And with All-Star, I feel like you have more room to kind of be less disciplined in a way, if that makes sense.
I also feel like all-star cheer like could have a completely different name for it. Because like cheer, when you cheer for someone, like you're cheering them on. Like all-star cheer, you're not cheering at all. Like even in those routines, like you don't do a cheer or anything. It's literally just you tumbling and stunting and you don't have any break from like all of that. You don't like cheer at all during it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know there was like, I knew there was probably some difference, but I didn't realize it was that big of a difference.
Yeah, it's honestly like completely different. We do obviously do like tumbling and stunting. That's the same, but just they're at different levels for sure.
Yeah.
And some are harder. One's harder in certain ways and one's like same.
Was it a weird adjustment like coming into high school cheer then?
I think so. Like our freshman year, I remember we would always ask our coach Della to like do certain things and she would be like, no, that's not how you do it. Or we would be like, yeah, we learned it this way. And she's like, that's not right at all. And we're like, oh.
But like in the all-star world, like that was right. And like the way that we do it here, like that was frowned upon and you couldn't do it that way. Like a bunch of different like tumbling like and stunts and stuff. And a lot of things are like you can't do certain stunts in like school cheer that you can do in all-star cheer too.
Yeah,
that's another thing.
Just basically like the technique and just all of that is completely different.
That's really interesting. Like same concept, but two different things.
Yeah.
So do you guys have like a favorite cheer memory you've gathered over the years?
That's a difficult one. There's been so many good times, but I feel like going to Florida is pretty great. Like I've never traveled so far, but to do it with this group of people was like an amazing experience for sure.
I mean, I've had so many memories. I can't really like pick any out. I think I just have the most fun whenever I'm with my teammates and we have like she said, when we were at Florida and we were kind of bonding in our hotel rooms, like those are the best memories you can make, honestly.
Yeah. And I also feel like when we go to Florida, like you get closer with your coaches too. And like, honestly, they're kind of almost like friends with you when you're going out and you're like in Disney World and you're not, obviously when we're practicing, it's much different. They are the coaches,
Yeah.
but like when we're out in Disney World or we're just talking to them, like it's almost like they're your friends. Like you get so much closer to them and like you bond with your coaches when you like go out of state with them for a big competition.
Yeah, that's really good. On the opposite end, have you guys had any like really scary moments while tumbling or flying or being a base? Like, has there been anything really scary that's happened?
I feel like all the time things just don't go correctly or we don't know exactly what we're doing and things just come crashing down on top of me. I'm a base and so I'm under the stunt and so when something falls, it's on top of me. You know what I mean? Like it all falls. And so, I mean, there have been times that it's scary, but most of the time you just get back up and try again.
Yeah, I think that we've all had scary moments like that. Me personally, I've just gotten knocked in the head quite a few times, but this is really random. But one of my favorite moments, it's scary, but not that scary, is I think it was 2 years ago. We had a flyer, Delaney Pighetti, and a backspot, Abby Cooper. And we were doing a stunt or something. And Delaney's head, like, what happened? It came down and it knocked Abby's tooth and like chipped it. So, I mean, people see cheer as like, oh, you can't get hurt. But I feel like we be getting...
It's like one of the most dangerous sports.
Yeah, it's actually really... The things we be doing sometimes, it's just... We don't even know what's going to happen.
No, I believe it.
Yeah, I've like sprained my ankle tumbling so many times. And it's like... I don't want to say you're used to it, but like honestly, you're almost used to it at that point. Like it'll like hurt at one point. You'll be like, oh, I sprained it again, and then you don't do anything about it because I've done it so many times. But like with stunting, like that's really where our trust comes in. Like especially as a flyer, like I'm a flyer and a base and a back, but usually I fly, and like as a flyer, you have to have so much trust in your bases and your back spot to catch you, and sometimes somebody's gonna mess up and like we're all gonna mess up and you're gonna fall on the ground. Like you have to be like brave, and it takes a lot of courage to like just flip in the air like that.
Yeah. I could not do it.
I feel like when cheerleaders get hurt, they don't have time to complain about it.
Yeah.
Like they'll get hurt, but they're not gonna really express as much pain as they might feel.
And like one thing with our team is we always say stuff like we're doing it for each other. And a lot of us, we are hurt, but people just don't know it because we always try and like push for our team because we don't want to let each other down. So we definitely all get hurt and have our moments, but we always try and just give our best for our team.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I did not know like you guys were hurt a lot of the time. Yeah. Well, kind of going off of what Delaney said a little bit, how do you build trust with like your bases and backs?
Well, honestly, I think like for me, I've always loved to fly. So like I always like put myself out there to fly. So like I kind of just like made myself trust them. Like, but there are a lot of flyers out there that are like our coaches will be like, hey, you'd be a great flyer. You should try it. And they're like, no, like I'm way too scared just because like there is a possibility you're going to fall. And honestly, like the people under you know what they need to do. And obviously everyone's going to make mistakes and you're going to fall sometimes, but it's hard to trust them at first. But once you start doing it, you kind of just like build that trust once you start doing it, and then you get used to it.
Yeah.
I think everyone starts to trust each other more because we have girls every year come in and try out that have never done cheer before. And we're never going to put our like flyers or any people that we're doing skills with in a position where they're like scared to do something, I feel like. So we always just try our best like to build each other up so that we all can do the fun skills and everything and trust each other more. But like I said, we'll never put our flyers or any spot in a position where they feel like something wrong is going to happen. So like all of us, we kind of have experience. So we show the younger girls like, hey, this is how you do it. Because we don't want to just completely avoid them and not let them get a chance.
Right. And I feel like the repetition of things too, when you know that we can do it after all those like summer practices of teaching the new girls or learning new tricks, once the flyer, I feel like, can see that we know how to do it, they have no problem like getting up in the air.
Yeah. And we practice so long. We start our practices the beginning of summer at like 5:30 in the morning, and we basically just build up from there. So we'll just start at the basics and teach everyone everything.
Yeah. It's a commitment you guys have.
It is.
How do you guys like or not manage, but like balance the schoolwork? Because you guys are year round basically. Like, how do you guys balance everything?
It's definitely hard, but I feel like you just have to stay on top of everything.
Mm-hmm.
You have to use the time that you have in class to like do homework that you'll have after school, so that way you have time for practice instead. It's kind of just like setting your priorities and making sure that you don't like get behind.
Yeah, we're a really driven team, I feel like. We never have had problems with eligibility at all because our team is just, I would like to say that we're a group of like smart girls and Andre, but we always, like Taylor said, we just have priorities and we just do what we have to do.
Another thing is like our practices come last. Like whenever there's like basketball or football, like they all get practice before us because they're like more important basically. So like our practices are always late. We never have a practice right after school. So it kind of allows us time to go home and get our homework done and then come to practice. I think that's like a big thing I did like my freshman and sophomore year was like go home, get my homework done, and then come to practice. Like, it honestly helps. It kind of sucks that we have to go all the way home and then come back. But at the same time, it has, like, its pros to it.
Yeah, that would be very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have a sport season you like to cheer for the most, or you just kind of like cheering for everything?
I feel like everyone that I know would say football.
Yeah.
I feel like it's such like a movie thing. I don't know why when I think of like cheerleaders, I think of football. Like it just goes with it. And it's so much fun, like under the lights, and you get to go on away games. And even if there's bad weather, I feel like we have a good time.
Yeah, I love football too, but I know that you guys are probably not going to agree with me, but sometimes I do like cheering for basketball just because of the intensity that it can bring. And like me and Taylor, we always be getting into it on the side. And I love the energy that it brings, and I'm really engaged in the game with like football. We kind of like, I'm short, so I can't really see that much what's going on back there. I'm just like cheering, hoping like we're doing good. But I like basketball because I can see everything.
It's like right in your face.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with Macey in that way. Like, basketball is more of a funner game to watch than football, but football is a more fun game to cheer.
Yeah.
Because, like, football, like, you have all the rowdies, you've got the parents, you've got, like, the dancers next to you, and you've got music playing, the band. Like, there's just so much more.
Yeah.
And there's so much out there, like, and we have so much more room to stunt and to tumble. And then we always get to perform at halftime. Like, it's just, and it's, like, stereotypical, like you said, but it's so fun.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like you not, like, fill a role that the students don't see or the parents don't see, like, during the games?
I don't feel like I have a direct answer for this, but I feel like I could go off of it a little bit. One thing that I feel like it kind of goes unnoticed how like much the environment can change like without cheer or without dance or without band. Like I feel like people don't realize the impact that all of the spirit teams have in a way.
I feel like they don't mind us when we're there, but they would notice if we were.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like sometimes like not even just football, like a lot of the teams like won't like really care if we show up, but then if we don't show up, they'll be like, wait, like why aren't the cheerleaders there?
That's
Right.
exactly
Like,
what happens.
Yeah, like they'll be like some people be like, some parents that don't know cheer get annoyed and they'll be like, we don't want the cheerleaders here. Like it happens a lot with like not football or basketball, but with other sports. And that's our job. We have to cheer. We cheer every sport on. Like that's our job. We're cheer. And a lot of parents like may get annoyed with us and stuff, but like, and complain that we're there. But then when we're not there, I think that they will like notice and be like, wait, like this is boring.
Yeah, people don't realize that like we actually get hated on kind of a lot by just everyone. But like we all said, if we weren't there, then that's when people are like, oh my gosh, where have you guys been? It's like, okay.
Or like they might not even say it out loud. They're like, wait, like cheer actually makes a difference in our games. Like, because we do. Like, we do stunts on the sideline so that people can watch during like quarters and like breaks and stuff. And we tumble and stuff. Like we're just trying to entertain the crowd, really.
Yeah, I've been to a few games where you guys aren't there or dance team isn't there, and there's a huge difference in atmosphere
And like the
overall.
energy.
Yeah. It's a lot, and you guys really do make a big difference at the games and help get everyone hyped up. So I think what you guys are doing is really important.
Agreed. I did say in one of the past episodes that the new stunt that you guys pull off, where you guys have the flyers go up and pretend to be the basketball hoop, and then they throw your pom poms back in. That's pretty freaking cool, man. I love that. So that's like probably one of my best stunts that I like.
Mm-hmm.
I like to call that one "shoot your shot." I feel like it's such a good name.
Yeah, it's really fun to watch you guys cheering. I like it. Kind of wrapping it up here. I've like 2 more questions. I'm gonna ask Macey and Delaney. This is your last season. How are you guys feeling as it kind of comes to an end?
I think I was talking to them about this like yesterday. I'm kind of like tired right now and kind of drained of the season because we do go so long, and I'm kind of just like the end of the year's coming and I'm ready to wind down a little bit. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to come back next year.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm really realizing that like this is it and I'm gonna be done. But it's bittersweet.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not realizing now how much I'm going to miss it next year when like football season comes down for like high school and stuff, and I'm going to be like, wait, like I never missed a game. Like that's like, that was part of my agenda. I had to go to those games and they were fun. And I feel like it's really bittersweet because I'm moving on like with my life and with other things I want to do in the future. And it's just going to be something I look back on and I'm like cheer got me through high school.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't have cheer, I think that I would not be who I am today. Like with our coaches, like cheer is like a growth sport. Like throughout your 4 years, you grow on the team and it teaches you so much, like especially like leadership. I feel like if I didn't do cheer, I would have no leadership in me.
And then like my final question is, what advice would you give to anyone who's coming to try out for the team?
I would say that I know at our 8th grade night, we had a lot of people come up and they were saying they're nervous to try just a new thing. But I think cheer is the most welcoming sport here. We always have a place for everyone.
Yeah.
And all the girls on our team come from different places. We do different sports, different parts of the school, but we all are there for each other and we're just like a family.
Yeah.
So basically, I would say don't be scared to try out because literally nothing could go wrong. It's just you're only going to gain from it.
I think what I would say is like it's not just about your skill. Like cheer is something that you're wanting to try out for new, and just because you don't have the skill doesn't mean you can't try out. Like our coaches want to help you learn, and like there's so many people that come in freshman year and have no idea even how to do a high V or anything, and like that's okay because like during that whole summer is where we learn everything, and like you're gonna have your seniors and your juniors who know everything they need to know, and they're gonna help you like learn it.
Yeah.
And we're so welcoming as a team. I feel like especially for our freshmen because they're so quiet in the beginning and they're so nervous because we were all there. We were all there as freshmen and we were so quiet, so we know what it's like to be them, and so we're like there to help them break out of their shell and like learn the things that they need to know.
Yeah, like she said earlier, you learn so many life skills from cheer. Our coach is all about teaching us how to be good, pretty much just good people. Like that's what she lives by. And I feel like you just gain lifelong friendships too. I know that's one thing I'm going to be sad about is just missing all the girls when I'm gone. But it's so worth it. I wouldn't change anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just say that like there's literally no downside to trying out for cheer. You're going to get amazing friends and amazing coaches and mentors that you can look up to. And you're just going to grow those bonds. And honestly, even if you're not like an incoming freshman, try out for cheer, please.
And if you're a guy, try out for cheer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's some really great advice. And thank you guys for being on the episode.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. This brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you guys for watching the Pueblo County Sports Experience. Yeah, I'm Bellina Cipriani, and I'm here with Taylor Lytle, Macey Martinez, and Delaney Pighetti. Thank you guys so much for watching, and go follow us on PCSN, and we'll see you next time. Bye.